What do you say to people who think that there are too many mass shootings in the United States of America?
It's the fucking idiots that pull the trigger.
Yeah.
It's not the people that own the guns.
Right. What if the idiots that pull the trigger own the guns?
Hey, are you an idiot?
But should we make sure that the people who are
How you
idiots
gonna make sure of that?
I guess
You got to
have
take a
stricter
fucking
gun
IQ
laws?
test to drive a car.
Do you
Then
think?
you don't have to have an IQ test to have a gun, do you?
Well, you actually have to take a test to drive a car. You need to learn how to drive it safely to be able to drive it.
Did your mama teach you how to drive a car?
She did actually, yeah.
Actually, she did. And how good a driver are you?
I'm a great driver.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Why? What are you talking about?
Well, are you any good at shooting a gun?
What does one thing have to do with the other? I'm
Because
confused.
you took a test, and you think you're smart enough because you took a test.
Did
And
you
I
pass a
don't
driver's test to drive?
No, I'd learn to drive out in the fucking woods.
But you had to get a driver's license. You had to get a driver's license, right?
For what?
To drive a car.
What is the answer? What is the answer to change the mind of someone who says it's the effing idiots that own, not the owners of the gun, it's the effing idiots that pull the trigger?
Why do you need a driver's license to drive a car? Do you know how to drive a car?
You have to have one to drive a car, though.
That's
It's the
only
law.
a suggestion.
It's not a suggestion. You have to have a driver's
You have
license to
to
drive
have
a car.
Driver's license to vote?
You have to have a driver's license
No,
to
do you
drive
have
a
to have
car.
driver's license to vote?
What does that question have to do with what we're talking about?
Because you say I got to have a driver's license for something that if I don't need one to vote, I don't need one to drive.
It's called a driver's license.
No gun-free zones.
Okay, so more guns.
Yep. Can't fight fire with water. You gotta fight fire with fire.
You can't fight fire with water?
Yeah. Depends on what's in the fire.
They specifically do fight fire with water.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. How is this serious? How is any of this considered serious when this country has a serious gun problem?
Your T-shirt, God's Guns and Trump. Tell me how you feel about the Second Amendment.
We need to keep our weapons.
Are you in favor of any kind of restriction on weapons at all, or ownership, or anything like that?
You don't want me to answer that.
No, sure.
Certain people need to not have guns.
Are you in favor of the Second Amendment?
Yes, yeah.
Do you think there should be any more restrictions on guns in this country?
No, I think we need gun.
But do you think there should be laws that make it more difficult?
Yeah, it's difficult, but this is our need. We need to defend ourselves.
The Second Amendment. Are you a supporter of the Second Amendment?
Absolutely.
Do you support any restrictions on it whatsoever?
Very limited restrictions. I mean, it said the people shall have the right to keep and bear arms, and it shall not be infringed. And there was no fuzzy gray area in that.
Nowhere else in the world are people dying from guns like they are in the United States of America. And for someone to be at a political rally and this is their stance on this issue is absolutely reckless and ridiculous. But it only exists when the candidate themselves is Donald Trump, when there is no ground or foundation for facts, or not even a reason for facts to live in that space. Every time he opens his mouth, give a speech, it's about a lie. Donald Trump is creating the most deliberate harm to our democracy of any president in the history of this country, and that is not hyperbole. That is a matter of fact. That is a matter of fact. And the fact that we are going into the 2024 presidential election and this man is leading should frighten us all. The fact that so many people are still lining up to hear the lies about 2020, to hear the lies about the FBI, to hear the lies about every institution, about everything in this country except Donald Trump is absolutely ridiculous. The fact that people are going along with Trump, talking about being a dictator, even if it's for one day, people clapping about that should frighten everyone in this country. Because certainly, dictator and democracy don't go together. You cannot be a patriot. You cannot be a patriot and love or even like Donald Trump. It is impossible. to care about America, her Constitution, her laws, her democracy, and think it's okay to support Donald Trump. A person who is out here lifting up the world's worst dictators, Kim Jong-un and Putin, praising them regularly. And the Republican Party, the so-called patriotic party, are clapping in droves. This is where we find ourselves in 2024. This is the state of our politics, where this man, Donald Trump, can be out of his own mouth, aspire to be a dictator, inspire to be a dictator, aspire to be a dictator, and still be leading in every poll for president of the United States of America. This ain't Looney Tune. This is for real. This ain't Looney Tune. This is for real. Do something, America, or else. I'm Mondale Robinson.